Hello everyone, it's me, Coffee Stitcher. It is the Sunday before Thanksgiving. How is everybody? Awesome, that's really good to hear. I have the Animaniacs theme song running through my head because we just started watching the reboot today. So if you see me doing this, it's because in my head I'm going, we're Anna. So before we get into the Q&A, one little announcement about Stitchmania, the talk show. For personal reasons, Katie needed to take a bit of a break. So we do have an episode coming out. The always wonderful Michelle Garrett of Bendy Stitches will be stepping in as temporary co-host. So we'll film November's this week. It's only going to be one video. And then we will also have December together. And then we'll play by ear from there. So I do appreciate everyone's patience there. We will also be doing the giveaway on probably at the start of the November video, maybe. I know Michelle was going to try and get something out though, so we'll definitely be resolving that. And again, I do apologize for the delays there, but stick with us. I promise we're still here. We're still doing stuff. So we're gonna dive right on into the Q&A. So first up comes from my wonderful friend Rob, who says, what kind of seasonal / holiday pieces are you missing specifically? Are there certain things you're missing that you want to decorate with? And then, if you could work in any position / career field without worrying about finances, job requirements, etc., what would it be? Okay, so first off, seasonally, literally about the only thing I have is Halloween, because that's about all I ever stitch. Halloween and fairy tales and random stuff. So basically every other season out there. I did start in on, as y'all saw, I started on Winter Carriage Ride from the Frosted Pumpkin. I bought a couple during their sale. I bought a Thanksgiving one that obviously will not be ready by this Thanksgiving. But I bought a Thanksgiving one. I've got a 4th of July one. So I'm trying real hard to get as much out there as I can for seasons so that I can do more decorating. So basically, if it's not Halloween, I got nothing. So and I'd like to decorate with more. And if I could work in any position or career field without worrying about finances, job requirements, etc. Well, of course, big-time Broadway star would be, like, the top of my list. But I don't particularly have the talent for that. Much as I would love to do it, there's really no genuine reason why Garrett Kilgore as Carol Channing, as, Hello Dolly, or Garrett Kilgore is Carol Channing, is Death of a Salesman, should ever be a thing that happens. I don't know, I think I'd kind of like to own my own LNS. I think that would be fun. And we've got a fabulous one here, so there'd be no reason for me to open one here. But I think that would be a lot of fun. Maybe like an LNS / coffee shop combination. I used to want to own my own coffee shop, and I would call it Watsits, so that people would be like, oh, let's go to that place, Watsits. Because, you can never remember what something's name is, so it's like, what's its name? Well, Watsits is its name. But yeah, that didn't happen either. So. Alright. Yeah, good questions, Rob. Oh, come on, YouTube. Whoop, whoop. Scroll back down some more. Oh, good lord. This is gonna be one of those days, y'all. Alright. We got a message from Kevin Wright. He says, I've never done any cross-stitch, but I would like to try. I watched a tutorial, but feel confused when it comes to going on a site to order a chart for a beginner. It has to be easy so I can get my head around what I have to do. Also, ordering the right amount of floss for a project, and making sure you get the right colors. Also, I need advice on the different fabrics and ordering the right sizes for the project that I choose. Please help because I really want to have a go. Thank you, from Kevin. Well, my first suggestion, Kevin, now I don't know where you live, But if you have a big box craft store, I would actually recommend going there and getting yourself a kit first. They've got all sorts of kits out there that are specifically designed for beginners on up to quote unquote experts. The nice thing with cross stitch, really and truly, once you've done the first one, you've basically mastered everything you need to actually doing the project itself. If you do a kit, and they usually have ones that are super small, like that big, that have only a couple of color changes, generally they're less than 100 stitches, they'll come with everything you need to get yourself going. So that would actually be my first suggestion for you for that. Start small, start with a small kit. Most of them cost a couple of dollars, and then if you go, you know what, this is not my thing, you've only spent $3. Do a kit or two, and a lot of people only ever work from kits because they don't want to go through the hassle of buying a chart and then buying fabric and then buying the right floss. So you could totally just be a kit stitcher your entire life and be just fine. If you decide, however, after you've done a couple of small kits or even a small kit and a larger kit or what have you, and you decide you want to try kitting up your own, that's when you can look at the other things that are out there. You can also look at them now, but I would strongly suggest starting with a small kit first. By and large, most designs these days will give you the skein requirement for the floss. If it's charted in VMC, a lot of the times they'll say 1 or 2 skeins, or 3 skeins, or 72 skeins, or whatever it is. A lot of times you can also look at the picture and sort of gauge, you know what, I'm probably going to need more than 1 skein of this. It's something you sort of get a feel for as you go on. And even then, there are times you will completely, wildly misjudge. Lord knows it's happened to me. So that's what I would suggest there. Then, once you're ready to get going, look at the chart. It'll tell you what fabrics you need, what fabric size you need, usually based on if it's going to be a Aida or linen. It'll break it down by count size, and then you can go from there. But I would strongly suggest, before you overwhelm yourself, that you just get yourself a small kit or two and try those out first and see what you think. But great question. Thank you to everyone for the congratulations on 300 as well. Mkissa commented about her new pattern that she released. It's a dreidel Hanukkah dreidel pattern that's really super cute, and she includes a history on the dreidel, which I didn't know anything about. The extent of my Hanukkah knowledge largely comes from the Holiday Armadillo episode of Friends, so something I need to be learning more about. Especially because there are some beautiful Hanukkah patterns out there. Satsuma Streets is fantastic. Weaving Rainbow asks, is that a picture of Agnes Moorehead? And yes, she was behind me, but I didn't like her there, so I'm going to move her. Steph B asks, how do you store your Krynex? I actually, now I'm behind in my log of bobbinating. I actually put mine on bobbins and store them in a floss box. Because I found that since it's not easy if you have a if you don't use all of what you cut for your strand, it's not easy to wind it back on those little spools. So I put it on bobbins. Um, Joanne P mentions the varying different hairstyles I've had over the last 6 years. And yes, there have been quite a few. In some ways, I'm the Jennifer Aniston of FlossTube in terms of, of hairstyles. Which is the only time in my life I could probably ever safely compare myself to Jennifer Aniston. Um, although I do like Aveeno products. Um, And she also says that the Teresa Winslow Castle was such a rite of passage for every Stitcher when it was released. She said you could always sort of tell who was a dedicated Stitcher if they were stitching it. And I do like it. We'll see how successful I am when it comes time to stitch it. Veronica Shannon asks, have you ever tried blackwork? Do you like it? I have tried it. I do not particularly care for it, which is weird because I like backstitching, and blackwork is basically intricate backstitching. But I just do not enjoy, and I like specialty stitches, but I just don't enjoy blackwork. I'm not sure if it's because actually, I feel fairly sure that a little bit of it is an encounter with a specific designer that I will not go into. Um, but it just has never, like, I don't mind, I'll do small amounts of it, I don't mind that. But doing a full blackwork project has just, no, thank you. Um, I'm hoping so. Thank you, Tina Carlisle, for pointing out the staticky chirp. I'm hoping that maybe it was just a thing last week because I couldn't. I could hear it in last week's video. I couldn't really hear it in others, and obviously I won't know until this one's done if it's there. Um, I don't really know what would be causing it either, um, unless it's maybe the TV in the other room, which is possible. If it's there this week, then we'll try next week with the TV not so loud and see if that helps. But we'll play by ear and see what we can figure out because I definitely don't want to be causing anyone headaches watching me. Although, as my dad would say, oh, but you are a headache. Ingleside Imaginarium has a really cute Yule Goat piece. And I'm not going to try and pronounce the name because I don't have it in front of me. But she's a super cute Yule Goat that she reminded me of. So go check that one out because that one I'm going to have to do shortly. And Carolyn Work in Progress brings up a good comment about nativities and how they're super whitewashed. And I just wish I could find a cute nativity that's not super 1980s. And by that I mean like blocky with lots of like outliney backstitch. Or like I really like the one that's the one you have to frame super interestingly. I think that one's actually really pretty. I can't afford that one, but I do actually kind of like that one, even though it's super traditional. But I wish there were non-traditional nativity. Like you can go out and buy like you can buy ones that are the Peanuts characters, or we found a really cute one yesterday at Home that was forest animals, like something like that, because I like cute things like that. So let's see. All right, and I think that is all of the Q&A. So, good questions this week, everyone. Okay. Yes. Good questions, everyone. All right. So, there was a little bit of haul this week because I discovered when I was working on Dark Queen on Sunday that I actually didn't have two of the colors that I needed. So, that meant a quick order to Fire Poppies. And so I also ordered, because I realized I needed some more of the beads still for Fairy Tale Favorites. But since I didn't want to just pay the postage, which I ended up doing anyway because my fuzzy stuff wasn't in, and then I had to order fuzzy stuff. But I really felt like I should do something more to justify the post. So I bought Filigram's Blackberry Plant. Blackberry Plant. So there it is. It's super cute. I really like the lizard. I really like the squirrel. But it's super pretty, and it uses it calls for dinky dyes, which I don't think I have any of those colors of dinky dyes, and also dinky dyes ribbon, which is kind of cool. So yes, but it's real pretty. I think it's got a stick insect. It's got a spider. It's got a ladybug or two. It's got a grasshopper. And I especially like it because growing up, my next door neighbors, who she still lives there, he passed on a couple of years ago, they had blackberry plants all along the fence between our house and theirs. And then he also had another one over on the other side of his house that wasn't along the fence. It was like on trellises that were set up. And so in the summer, there were blackberries, and we could just go pick and eat them. The birds hadn't already gotten to them. That did happen. Then there'd be lots of purple bird poop around. But that sort of brought me back to that little moment in my life. All right, so what did I work on this week? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I don't really know why else you'd be here if you didn't want to know. Okay, so I worked on, of course, Dark Queen of the Seas. Did I put a check mark on that? I did, okay. And I got her arm mostly done. So, minus the sort of corally pink bits. So here she is. I did not do yet the fish stroking fin. There's one little stitch that's got to still be done, but it was a color that I couldn't use at the moment yet. So today I'm going to work on her other arm, and then, actually I'll probably just go ahead and finish out her arm and the little floopy floops. So, and I have the two colors that I bought for that. Woohoo! Alright, then, because I had some time on Sunday after I finished her arm, I went ahead and I pulled out Alice, and I redid her skin, as I said I was going to, and then I did the bottom two flowers. So parts 1 and 2 of Alice are done. So I went with 3864 for her skin. But there it is. So next month I will start in on the caterpillar. I'm still debating about adding some metallic. I think it's primarily going to end up being metallic, like half stitch over versus full metallic. So I think I may wait towards the end and see if I can figure out how I want to handle that. Let's see. Then I worked on Adventure Awaits by the Caterpillar Collection, and I finished up Europe. This is on Mummy Wraps from Ship's Manor. So there we go. Europe is done. So next month I'll start in on the Asian part of the continent. So I didn't do the airplane yet. I'm kind of debating on leaving some of those little individual things like the airplane and the dolphin and such, I'm debating on leaving those out, simply so I can focus more on the landmarks. But we'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling towards the end. And then I worked on Count Your Blessings by Annie B's Folk Art. This is on a Ship's Manor Fabric of the Month, but I don't remember its name. I don't think it had a name. But my goal was the lower left motifs, which I achieved. So here it is. So next month I will work on the border for it. And it will actually probably become my lunch project. Because I was really struggling on the Tiny Modernist. I wasn't digging it. As much as I really, really love her patterns and I think they're beautiful, I struggle with them. So I hadn't done much on it, so I just went ahead and frogged it. I figure when I'm finding reasons to not work on it and it's that new, that it's probably just assigned to do something different. So this will probably become my work one simply for its border. This is a good one to take to work and work on borders with. So let's see. Left to go still this month. I've still got Fairy Tale to finish. Which is probably what I will work on after Dark Queen. I've got Black Cat Hollow that I still want to work on. Paradise Lost. Dorothy's Discovery. And Atlantis. So I've got 5 projects. I probably will not get all of them this month. In fact, I feel fairly confident that I won't. So, but that's okay. We can always revise goals. Anyhow, that's kind of it for me today. I hope everyone has a terrific week. If you're in the US and you're celebrating Thanksgiving, I hope you do it safely. Because you don't want to screw up Christmas because you decided to screw up the stupid holiday that we have. If you're not in the US, I just hope you have a great week. But if you celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. If you're like us and it's just going to be quiet and small, great. So, anyhow, I will see y'all next week. Bye.